What if love, the thing you've been taught to chase, sacrifice for, and build your life around, was never meant to endure? What if the stories you inherited about forever, about loyalty, about being enough, were designed not to free you, but to enslave you? Not because women are evil, but because nature is cruel. In the next few minutes, you're not going to hear advice. You're going to hear what the ancient mystics, the forgotten warriors, and the banished prophets knew. That love is not a contract. It's a ritual. And every ritual has a price. Imagine a man. Let's call him Elias. Elias believes in love, deeply, raised on movies, poetry, and the idea that if you give everything, you'll receive everything. Then he meets her. She's radiant, mysterious, soft-spoken, but intense. She sees him, listens to him, makes him feel chosen. And so he does what every uninitiated man does. He gives. He gives his attention, his time, his plans, his spine. And for a moment, it works, until it doesn't. She starts pulling back, slowly, then violently. She says she's confused, says he's too much, says she needs space. Elias, desperate, starts doing more, saying less, hoping that being better will save what's slipping through his fingers. But here's the truth. She didn't leave because he failed. She left because he succeeded in becoming what she thought she wanted, not what she actually needed. In 2020, a Cambridge meta-analysis found something quietly terrifying. Across 27 cultures, women rated sexual attraction highest in men who displayed aggression during competition, not compassion. The researchers called it evolutionary drift. We call it instinct, because underneath every woman's conscious desires for kindness, security, emotional availability, lies something more ancient, a craving for tension, polarity, edge, not because she's broken, but because the blueprint for her attraction is older than her name. Want proof? Ask why Helen of Troy left a king for a reckless pirate. Why Cleopatra chose Julius Caesar over senators. Why women still fantasize more about danger than devotion. The truth? She is wired for the dance, not the destination. But here's where it gets worse. Most men, when faced with this truth, either break or become monsters. They fall into two traps. Trap 1, the worshiper. He tries harder, he gets nicer, he buys flowers, plans trips, starts journaling his feelings. She doesn't respond. She recoils. Trap 2, the tyrant. He becomes cruel, withdrawn, emotionless. He mimics the bad boys, the rogues, the red pill gods. And she does respond, for a while, but it doesn't last, because he's not dangerous. He's just scared. So what's the way forward? It's not to worship. It's not to dominate. It's to remember who you were before you believed love was salvation. In ancient Mesopotamia, men weren't taught love songs first. They were taught rituals of power. The temple of Inanna, the goddess of love, trained men not to please women, but to earn divine favor through self-mastery. To become worthy of surrender, you had to first become worthy of solitude. And now, we've forgotten the temple. You are told to open up, to share more, to be soft. But what if softness is only powerful when it's wrapped in steel? A 2019 study from the Journal of Personality showed that women rate men with high emotional regulation as more attractive, not because they're numb, but because they're contained. Women trust a storm that knows its own direction, not one that pleads to be understood. So here's the cruelest truth. She never loved you for who you were. She loved you for who she became in your presence. The moment that version of her faded, so did the love. This isn't manipulation, it's math. Love is not a transaction of souls, it's a reflection of states. And when your state changes, when your center is lost, her mirror breaks. That's why some women leave without warning. Why the one who said always became a ghost? It wasn't your fault. It was the lie of permanence in a world ruled by movement. You now see the pattern. You now understand the dance. Love isn't evil, but it isn't holy either. It's a force, like fire, and if you don't master it, you'll either be burned or worship the smoke. The choice is yours. Beg for love, or become the kind of man who doesn't need to.